Well, Ryan, thanks for talking to us. Of course, everybody knows what it is today, so we might as well start right at the top. It's the end of the transfer window. First of all, how's it going?
It's long process at the moment. We were at the stadium till about 10:30 last night, trying to get a couple of things done. Missed the boat on a couple that were really close. Unfortunately, that fell down. But we'll be at it again today, and I'm sure we'll be late tonight and trying to get a couple of things over the line between now and the end of play.
I suppose what you're learning is there's all sorts of things can happen before you can finally get that deal signed, sealed and delivered.
Yeah, and until it's officially signed, nothing's done. We thought we were really close with one, and then all of a sudden, next minute, it's dead in the water, which is frustrating. Spend lots of time doing a bit of research on the players, and you get a package together, send it across, think it might get somewhere, and it falls through. But that's part and parcel of it. Until it's signed on the dotted line, you've not got to play through the door. So,
just looking at where you are, how do you go about that when you get turned down? Is it sort of a list that you go just down the list, or what happens next, sort of thing?
Yeah, so Josh and Joe and the team highlight 4 or 5 targets that fit the profile for what we want and what we need and what we feel will strengthen the group. So then we work through that selection, if you like. There'll obviously be a pecking order, as there always is. Your number 1 target, that falls through, you go for your number 2 target, and that's where we're at the moment.
That's hopefully going to happen for you throughout the day, and hopefully something they'll be ready for the weekend. But you have to carry on. Those are the ins that you're looking to get. You've had a couple of outs in sort of Billy Sass-Davies, who's maintained his loan spell at Boreham, and of course Charlie Colcott, a surprise move for him, and away he goes to Notts County.
Yeah, Charlie's a terrific lad. I've not come across many better guys in football. He just didn't get the game time here for whatever reason. And it's an opportunity for him that he probably felt that he couldn't turn down. I spoke to him last night. He was pleased on one hand to get the opportunity, but also gutted leaving the club at the same time. But it's just an opportunity for him to go and get some football, which he found tough here, and that sometimes that happens. So we wish him all the best and hope he does well there.
And Billy Sass-Davies just continues his extended loan now.
Yeah, that's it. Billy's done well since being there at Boreham Wood, and he's continuing his loan there till the end of the season.
Now, the players that you're working with then at the moment, you know what group you've got. You've lost a couple, big players, Conor O'Riordan and Joe White. But you must still have confidence in the group that you've got to where you are on the table to push on even further, whatever happens when the window shuts.
Yeah, we're confident with the group. We want to bring 1 or 2 in, more from giving us that depth and cover point of view. That's what we're trying for. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's football.
Just looking back to last week now, and then we'll look ahead towards Tranmere. The manager said afterwards that it was an off day. We've not had many off days, but he wanted to hurt the players a little bit when they studied what had gone wrong. Have you sensed that as you've had a training week with them?
Yeah, I think it was not necessarily the result. Obviously, the result's disappointing to lose games, but it's how you lose the game sometimes. And we felt collectively as a group of staff and as a group of players when we went through the game in the week that it was the performance that was most disappointing. We didn't perform to the levels that we've been setting and the standards that we've been performing to, and obviously the performance then leads to the result. You're going to get beat, you're going to lose games of football, you're going to draw some games, you're going to win some games. If the performance is there and you're playing how we want the team to play, and they're playing in the way that we think they should be playing, and you get beat sometimes. You go, fair enough, the opposition were better, but we felt we didn't do ourselves justice in terms of what we're good at and how we've been getting results previously, in terms of the style of the performance. So that was the most disappointing thing from our side of things.
The one real positive when you have suffered a defeat, and you haven't suffered many, is that you know how to bounce back. You'll be calling upon that sort of strength again come Saturday at Prenton Park.
Yeah, and that's a big test for the players, that they test their character, their mentality. If we can bounce back on Saturday, which is the aim, you quickly fades away the Salford result, and you can keep looking forward and then trying to build on what will hopefully be 3 points come Saturday.
Would you class it as a bit of a similar type of an opponent? They might be different in styles, but would you class it as a similar type of opponent that you're coming up against in Tranmere than what Salford were? Because again, they've been under new management and they're turning the results around.
I think it'll be just as tough a test as Salford. I think they've had some really good performances and results in recent weeks. They've certainly picked up over the last 2 months or so. It's going to be a very tough test. They're a very well organised team. They're really good at what they do, and they've shown in recent weeks and the last month or so that they've got an eye for goal as well. They've scored some terrific goals individually and collectively. So we know that it's going to be a tough game, and we know that we're going to have to be fully prepared and fully right to come away with anything come Saturday.
What will you be expecting in terms of how they'll set up and how they'll approach the game?
I think we'll have a good share of the football with how they set up. They're 4-4-2, very well organised, defending the lines, pick their moments on when to press, and when they do it with real aggression. Hard for you to break down. They're really disciplined in what they do, and ultra aggressive on the counter-attack, and with some real threats in the front line and off the sides. So it's something that we've got to be mindful of. But we'll prepare as we do for every game, work out how we think we can hurt the opposition, come up with a plan that will hopefully enable us to get the 3 points come Saturday.
What shape are you in terms of the injured players, mainly Zach Williams and Joel Tabern? Updates on both of those lads?
Yeah, Joel Tabern really positive, so this is his 2nd week running, which is really good news. He's not had any setbacks from it so far, touch wood, that continues. He'll continue this week with the physio department while he builds up his load within his running. Next week he'll then increase that, and he'll be with Joe and the team a little bit more, so it becomes more specific to what he needs at that next step. And then, as long as all goes well next week, he'll hopefully be back with us and back with the group, and then kick on from there. Really disappointing with regards to Zach Williams. Unfortunately, we had a scan at the early part of the week. It's not good news. He's now got to go and see a specialist to clear up exactly what it is. But yeah, it's not good news with Zach at the moment.
So certainly a major frustration for him, hasn't it? Ever since that freak accident at Harrogate. Yeah,
freak accident at Harrogate. How he rolled his ankle in the first place. Landed funny against Newport away, which triggered the irritation in his ankle again. And then he trained terrific last Thursday, would have been involved in the squad, and then again a freak accident, landed funny doing his rehab work on a board, which has gone over on his ankle. We were hoping it was just going to be minor, but it looks a lot worse than what we first expected, which is why he's got to go see a specialist to give us a clear date, really, in terms of what the plan is going to be with him and what he needs to do.
Let's get off the dark cloud and get onto a bright cloud, because you're going to Tranmere, and Elliot Nevitt is going back And of course he's banging forward, isn't he? You know, he's having a terrific season, and it's all down to you, the coaches, the management team, and him himself to get it going for him.
Yeah, it's definitely down to himself. It's down to how he's applied himself, how hard he's working in training, day in, day out, when he was in the team, when he's not in the team. And he's getting the rewards now. He had a bit of a stop-start to the start of the season. He got in the team, then he picked an injury up, came out of the team, then he had to wait his turn again, got in the team, got ill, had to come back out of the team, had to wait again. Got back in the team just after Christmas, and he's been on a terrific run since, and may that continue, and definitely going into Saturday, which I'm sure he'd love to get on the score sheet again, and especially get on the score sheet and bring 3 points home against his former club.
In the last few weeks we've been talking about 4 wins on the spin. Can you get 5 wins on the spin? Well, this weekend you're looking at 3 wins on the spin away from home. That's not a bad little record if they can do that.
Yeah, and it's just about building momentum again. Again, it was 4 wins on the spin going into Salford, but we as a group are what had gone past. You move on, just focus on what's the task in front, which is exactly what we'll do now for this game at Tranmere. That's the target, that's what we're looking forward to, that's the plan that we're trying to get something in place for, and hopefully we can come away first game in February with 3 points.
And you know what you're going to get? You're going to get an excellent following. It's just an hour down the road, and the away fans are going to be there in the numbers again. Give them 3 points and you're right back on track.
Yeah, absolutely, and I believe they've sold out again, if I've heard correctly. So again, the following's going to be terrific, and hopefully we can put on a performance that's going to lead to 3 points, and they have a nice journey home.